Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Katya from Katya Home Properties, and today we are going to talk about insurances. Finally, we got to this topic because, guys, this is something very important, and I keep receiving the questions, recommendations, and I wasn't really sure up till now who to send the people with and which is the best company, what we have here available in our little town, and I think I'm in the right path. Here we have today Katya Davo. Hi, Katya. Another Katya. So Katya is an insurance advisor for shoreline insurances. Right? Am I right, Katya? Correct me. You work with many insurance companies. You're an insurance broker.
That is correct. I am an insurance broker for different companies to offer you the best home insurance possible that covers your needs.
Okay, so you are based in Los Cabos, and I had to go, guys, all the way to Los Cabos to find Katya, and I believe we got one of the best stuff here for you according to home insurance, health insurance, I cannot say this loud enough, and car insurance, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And being a broker, I offer different companies, as I say, depending on your needs. And as we live in a digital area, it doesn't matter where I am physically, the internet will solve everything.
Okay, thank you very much, Katya. So today we are going to start and we're gonna talk in different sessions about health insurance, car insurance, and home insurances. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of great information. I promise you that. Thank you so much to be here with us today.
It's my pleasure, and I do hope that we grow together. Having insurance has proved to be the most important thing to protect your assets, to protect your health, to protect your portfolio, and as I say, I hope we can work together, grow together, and there's a million opportunities waiting for us.
Thank you so much. I mean, I went all the way to find Katya to Los Cabos, right? You are based at Los Cabos.
I am based in Los Cabos, and I work as Katya Davo. So that's important to say, Katya Davo. It's my married name and it's my Austrian name, so that's why I work as Katya Davo. And and we've been living here for the past 14 years, and we manage car, health, and home insurance. We are not the insurance company, so we're just a broker that works for various insurance companies, but I'm, let's say, the middle person between the company and the client, and we make things easier for the client. Like, you have a claim, I can assist you how the claim is done, that the right paperwork is provided, that trying to get you the best coverage you need depending on your lifestyle. If you have a property, also assessing the damage, explaining how insurance in Mexico works. And as I always say, Mexico has its pros and its cons, but living here, we have to be by Mexican rules and understand how insurance here works, which is a bit different than in the rest of the world.
Okay, thank you. So as I understand, you work with several insurance companies. So this is, I think, guys, this is the best, because probably, Katya, you have the best of all. So you can tell me, okay, you need a health insurance, I recommend you, and this is exactly what happens. My whole family is with, according to Katya's recommendation, with the company she referred me to. So you can guide me, no? Okay, this is the best according to my experience, this in your situation. So let's start with health insurance, because I think everything is important, but probably our health is the most important thing. So tell me about it. What would you recommend to a family that moved to Puerto Vallarta? They are here, let's say, 6 months a year, traveling back and forth.
Okay, well, there's it's important to mention that there's Mexican insurance, yes, and I don't represent any Mexican insurance company because they have a deductible, a copay, they have waiting times, They have a lot of situations that I thought I needed to find a better option to make it more practical for people. So I only represent international companies based in USA. And saying this, I mean, everybody's insurable, as in doesn't matter what nationality you are. But there is a special plan that's called the VUMI Expat plan, where you exclude USA, and excluding USA medicine, which is the most expensive medicine in America, you save a bunch of money. And but you do have to be either American, Canadian, or European to be able to be insured in this particular policy. And I mean, as I say, I do represent others as well, which have full international coverage. And with the full international coverage, that means in the example that you're stating, with this family that comes and goes either to Canada or to the States, they can have coverage worldwide, which is very important for people that commute. But what do I need in order to be able to insure you? You do need to be in Mexico at least 5 or 6 months a year and have an address in Mexico. But these policies are year-round policies. They're not travel insurance. They're full-time insurances.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask you one important question here. You're saying that you have to have an address here in Mexico. Do I have to have a residency in Mexico, or can I just have a tourist visa or get?
You can have a tourist visa. There's no problem about that. But you do have to have an address. It can be your rental. You don't have to be the owner of that property, but the address that's going to be in the application has to be a Mexican address.
Okay. As much as I understand, you recommend this type of international insurance that covers the US part as well to people who are here half of the time, who go back and forth. Which insurance would you recommend to somebody that lives here full time?
I live here full time. Like, I'm a Mexican citizen as well as an Austrian citizen, but I am a Mexican citizen. I live here full time. And I decided, because I'm in the industry, obviously, that I agree with you, health is the most important asset you should have, because it's yourself, it's you. And unfortunately, in this country, we were not born with the ideology that health insurance is important, and it's vital, because we don't think we should buy it. And the moment that we get sick, we don't care about anything. We sell whatever needed, but we want the best coverage possible, correct? So, and I would like to share that. So I have full international policy, living in Mexico full time. And why do I have it? Because there's limitations with the expat policy. The expat policy has a maximum amount per lifetime, where the international one has a revolving amount, meaning every year the insured amount is there again, right? It's a revolving amount.
Okay.
So I decided to buy this policy. Then you're looking at me, I'm a 53-year-old woman, healthy, 2 teenagers, a healthy husband, 2 healthy parents that I'm very fortunate to have. And 3 years ago, exactly in the middle of the pandemic, out of the blue, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a cancer that is in your lymph nodes. So basically, it's in your blood. And I was treated here in Los Cabos, in fact, and I was treated marvelously. They gave me all the rounds of chemotherapy. I went through hell and back, and I got clean. And 4 months later, it came back, and it came back with a force. So we decided to be treated in MD Anderson, which is a specialized cancer hospital in Texas. And I cannot tell you enough of how VUMI, which is the company that I personally am insured with, they went beyond and above, and they paid everything that was needed. Obviously, I was only responsible for my deductible. And they cleaned me again, and I had a an autologous, means of my blood bone marrow transplant. I was clean again, and it came back again. And so I had to go back again. So I battled with this disease for more than 3 years, and I had to go back again, and I did it again in MD Anderson, and then I had a donor's bone marrow transplant. So yes, I went to hell and beyond.
Wow.
And in 3 years, I spent more than $4.5 million. I know my case, I don't know why, but my case was very severe. Lots of
thank God it's over, right?
So I've been in this industry for 14 years, and I had never used insurance ever, like, because my kids were already born and we're healthy, right? And in 2020, as I say, I really used it. And
the pandemic, you got it all, right? It sounds like.
The pandemic was a nightmare. But I can tell you the premiums don't go up because of your medical condition. That's very important. My premium is exactly the same as you if you are my age. So what I'm trying to say is you are not blamed or penalized or whatever because of your medical condition.
Okay.
So that's super important.
That's super important, right?
I mean, that's one thing that I wanted to point out.
I was really like trying to find here the solution for me, and I really don't want to get into details, but I only had bad experiences because when me and my family, we needed insurance for nothing major, not even close to this, but some things they never paid. So I was you remember our first phone call? I was super skeptical. I was like, you know what? I don't trust this, but let's do it if you tell me. And until now, it seems it really worked. So, okay.
I have to say that the most important thing with insurance, any insurance company, is communication. I think like in life, right? For two people to get along, they have to communicate. For two people to be friends, they need to communicate. Yeah. For a relationship, parents, kids, they have to communicate. Well, with insurance company, it's the same thing. And I do think that we're very jealous, as human beings, of our privacy, of our own medical history or whatever. But I do think that communication is vital. So if you have something, communicate it to your broker, to your insurance company, to whatever, so that things are done correctly since day one. The worst thing you can do with any insurance company, as I say, is go have 1,000 appointments, get a scary diagnosis, start treatment, and then say, well, I'll just let the insurance company know once I'm finished and they can reimburse me fully. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, that's a great advice. So guys, remember to communicate with them immediately. You can save a lot of money. But Katya, going back to the main question here. For a family of 3, and let's say that they want to have a Mexican insurance because they have another insurance in the US, blah, blah, blah. They just want to be insured in case anything happens here. What would you recommend? How much would this, just in an average, give us an idea, how much would this be for a year of a 3? Let's say mother, father, and a 15-year-old child, to give an idea.
The clue here is only they have to have, remember, USA, Canadian, or European passport, right?
Yes, you have to be European, USA, or Canadian passport, because this is an expat insurance, remember that.
Correct, and it's excluding USA, right?
Yeah.
So if mother, right, and mother and father, let's say, are 50 years old, and the sons, just so you know, they are called dependents on the policy, and they're dependents until the children are 24 years of age.
Okay.
So they cost very little. They cost around $400 a year.
$400 as a dependent. Okay, that's great. Wow.
Full year. And the adults, but I have to stress, this is full international insurance excluding USA. So It's not only Mexico insurance. So it's full international insurance, excluding USA.
So it includes Europe as well. It includes Europe, Canada, everything except the USA. Okay.
That is correct. Okay. And that's important to mention. And for every adult, which is mother and father, right? It would be about, with a $2,500 deductible, which we'll talk about what a deductible is, but with a $2,500 deductible, no copay, this insurance company asks for no copay, it would be about $2,000 for adult, so it would be about, for the full family, I would say it would be like $4,500 for the full year.
Wow, that's not bad. Okay, so guys, we're talking again, 2 adults around their 50s and one 15-year-old, let's say around $4,500 a year. Okay, what about the renewal? If they decide to come back every year to Mexico and be here?
No, that's what they should do, because this policy, as I say, and I'm taking a look here just to make sure I'm telling you the exact numbers.
Thank you.
But because I said that out of my memory, but I have the table.
I mean, obviously, we get these are nothing like not concrete numbers here.
I was spot on. It's
okay,
$2,000 per adult, and $380 for a dependent.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's great.
It's the same thing. So yes. So how is the premium calculated? The premium, starting with a healthy family, right? Because the important thing is to get insurance while you're healthy.
Yeah.
That's why I always encourage you, please get insurance as soon as possible. You're healthy today. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a 50 to 54-year-old couple. It does go by age. The younger we get, as I say, yes, the more age we have, the more expensive it gets. Remember, insurance is like a bank. It measures your risk. So obviously, the higher the risk, which is the older we get, the more expensive the insurance gets. And that's worldwide. I mean, that's no secret. So that's worldwide. And so once you're in, you're in. But yes, there is a raise in premiums every year, unfortunately. Why? Not because you had personal claims. Maybe you had no claim whatsoever in the whole year. And me here, I go claiming $4.5 million, right? Which is obviously out of the blue as well. But let's say you and I have the same policy and the same whatever. In the renewal, you and I, our premium will go up exactly the same. And how is it calculated? It's calculated basically by the medical inflation, not by the economic inflation of the country or whatever. It's by the medical inflation and the claims of the whole country.
Okay.
So yes, I didn't help Mexico in the 2021 and 2022, but what I mean is my claim was against all the insured of the company. So obviously my claim is mellowed down, or how can I say, it's not that important against the thousands of people that are insured. So the premium goes up every year about 5 to 8%, and I have to be honest, it does go up. Now, given that it's in US dollars and that the peso is super strong, for people that have access to pesos, it was less expensive. But yes, you asked me what happens if there's a devaluation. What can I say? I mean, real estate is based in US dollars. Properties are based in US dollars because it's a stronger economy, even though the peso is in their historic heights now.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about the expat insurance, everything you said. What is the difference, just to have an idea? Same family, $4,500 for the expat. I want to include the US insurance. What happens?
I'm going to give you my personal example. So in the expat policy, the same thing. I already shared, I'm 53. My husband is 50. I have two kids, so it would be about $5,000 with a $2,500 deductible, correct?
Yes.
And
for an
in
expat.
the international, for an expat, which excludes USA, and obviously it has its limitations. Let's be very honest. You have a $4 million coverage per lifetime, not per year. I chose the full international one. I do have full access to USA. As I shared as well, I was treated the second time it came back and the third time it came back in the USA. And now I have to go every 6 months for follow-ups, right? To have the PET scan, to have the labs, to have all that beautiful things that we have to do once we have the ghost in our lives.
Yeah.
But it's what you have to do because you have to be certain it doesn't come back. And if it does come back, just to catch it in time. But anyway, so I, as a family, with a $2,000 deductible, which is a little bit different with the deductibles in the expat than the full international. In the expat, the lowest deductible is $2,500. That's the example we did, and you do have the option of $5,000. In the full international, you do have a lot of options. You have $500, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Mm-hmm. I chose the $2,000 deductible, and I pay $17,000 a year.
Okay, wow, that's a big difference. 17.
That's a big difference. But then what do I do? What do I have? I have 7 million of coverage every year. I have full access to all the doctors and all the hospitals.
Everything. So this is the highest. And the $17,000, this is for your whole family, not only you, right? That's what you
No. 17, the four of us.
The four of us. Four of you. Sorry. Yes. Okay. That gives us an idea. Wow. Okay.
There's a lower plan. I have the middle plan, let's say. There's a higher plan than I have, which is amazing for anyone that is young and wants to have a baby, and that baby wants to be born in the USA, for example. I have a plan that's specific for that. It's a little bit more expensive, but obviously you're not my age. You must be 30, 25.
Yeah,
and
have a baby.
It's expensive, but it's the best for pregnancy.
Okay.
And then there's one that's lower than the one I have. And that one has a network in the USA instead of full coverage anywhere. So the network basically excludes the Mayo Clinic, maybe the Johns Hopkins hospitals that are very specific. And the conditions are the same, just a little bit less money. Right, so it's
I think Katya, we have some idea about this, and of course, if you guys are interested, just shoot me an email, and I'm going to guide you with Katya Davo, and she's going to be able to explain and help you and get into the details.
It's important, Katya, just to mention that even if people have an insurance in the USA, a private insurance like Geo Blue, Humana, Kaiser, you name it. This insurance is going to cost them more or less the same, but with full international, instead of in the States, it's national and it's regional.
Okay, I hope you guys heard that. So what we are offering here is a full international coverage for the same amount or more or less the same amount of money what you guys have in the US. So I highly, highly recommend you to reach out, okay? Because this is something great that is happening here, okay? And Katya, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Ciao.